All right, you can sit down for a minute. But I'm getting revved up for tomorrow, and so, you know, if you feel like saying yeah, I always like the locker room when they're like, yeah, coach, yeah, and when one would hit their head against the locker, I love that. I go, yeah. All right, don't do that, don't do that. All right. How you guys doing over there?
Great.
Tennessee is good, huh? Good, good. All right, so I was looking up some stuff today. 102 days to the end of the year. I couldn't believe it, 102 days. You know, it wasn't that long ago, we were at conference. We were setting our goals for 2019, excited for 2019. So let's do a little checkup. Have you accomplished your goals? All right, good, good, good. Are you the best version of yourself? You had a plan, are you staying on it? So like diet, business, keeping your spending in control, or you feel like you're in the same place where we last saw each other. All right, so let me ask that question. How many of this is their first event ever? Raise your hand. Wow, wow. Good, good. How many diamonds in the house? That's good. Diamonds are usually quiet. That's good. Double diamonds. How'd you guys get front row with double diamonds? You won't be there long. You won't be double diamond long. I can see that right now. Triple diamond. Excellent, excellent. Presidentials? Wow, good group. What's next? Oh yeah. Let's break this into two. There's 16 ambassadors due this year that I'm giving the mic to Lovin tomorrow. I've been practicing. Given that, it's been tough. I get the down part really well, but sometimes the up part's been slower. So, Lovin tomorrow that we're going to do, and that's so exciting. So, who are our new ambassadors this year for 2019? I'm so proud of you guys. And all ambassadors, how many ambassadors in the room? Good. Any black diamonds? All right, good. All right, so, you know, I think it's important that we talk about, we set some goals in the beginning, and I'm going to show a slide tomorrow. I think I stole it from Mira's social, but I loved it. It said, I joined the gym 6 months ago, and I'm not getting the results, and tomorrow I'm going in person to find out what's going on. I love that. And I think sometimes there's people on your team that do that, right? You call them and you go, hey, how's it? And they're like, the business not working out for me. And you're like, you haven't done anything yet. And they're like, well, I know, but... So, you know, we got to set our goals, set our plan, but then we also got to take action. And Tyler and I were working on a project just recently, and we were going back, they were asking me some time dates, you know, when we moved to Florida, when we had the golf course doing green carpets. I mean, we got people here that the first year we were in Florida, we had a green carpet like this every month at the golf course. Now, we had like 35 at the first one, and kept going, and there was 8 pitches before we finally had to move over here. But who remember those days? Who were at the green carpets that first year? Yeah. Tina Bubba right there. I think you guys hit every one of them, didn't you? It was unbelievable. At Christmas, they were at the table for dinner, and he's like, what's Tina Bubba doing here? And I'm like, they just come every month for a green carpet. They're here. But that was part of our secret sauce here. But we were going back looking at that. We were looking at different moves. And what struck me, you know, I was surprised. The last 10 years, for Cindy and I personally, we've watched, you know, our success go from being about her and I trying to take care of our kids, our family, to all of a sudden like this legacy for our grandkids and future grandkids and great grandkids. And I say that to you because what it made me think about was, here's how you're successful. It's not the mountaintop only, because we know we got mountaintops and we know we'll be in the valley. everything's going right for you, and then it doesn't seem like anything's going right for you. But the secret is the consistency in the middle. The secret is that you continue, if you're doing positive things each day, plus time, it equals a happy you. If you're doing negative things, plus time, it equals a sad you. That's a pretty simple explanation. But that's what happens, and that's what I realize is, we're talking about stories today, tomorrow. Really excited about that, because what I'm excited about is you get to write the story, your story, the way you want it. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. But for Cindy and I was coaching and I was teaching. 16 years, that seems like forever. I was a coach and a teacher. I was a varsity basketball coach. I loved it. I was passionate about basketball and teaching. And then I got into this direct sales thing that I knew nothing about. And Cindy and I were talking about that this morning. Most of you that came into this company, when you come into direct sales, you're not looking for it. It kind of happens. We were talking to some of the leaders today, and we said, and they're like, yeah, I said, I'm going to give it 6 months, see what happens. And I told my friends I sponsored, hey, let's give it a year, see what happens. That's kind of the way we come in. And then all of a sudden, we're making this income, or we're going full time. And that happened to us. I joined this direct sales company. They're not even around today. They were $1 billion company. They're not around today. But we got in, and I started dreaming a little bit. What if we could go full time? So what if, instead of teaching was getting a little bit hard for me because the money, the kids would want to do stuff. They'd say, oh, my daddy can do it, but daddy couldn't afford it. But I didn't want to tell them that. You're like, want to tell your kids, you can do anything you want. But I was getting frustrated with that part. I could be the best teacher in the world, but I got paid according to whatever the rate was. I could be better than the teacher next door, but if they were 5 years longer, they got paid more money. And I was frustrated with that. And so I got into this thing. We set a goal for full time. We went full time. And I wanted to be top 10. And I was telling the group, I was laughing, because I like to laugh at my top leaders here that, they're trying to get in that top 10. We'll be in Tampa this year, announcing them, and they come across. And, every number is exciting. 11 is exciting, 14 is, every number is exciting. But for some reason, top 10, you just have an attitude. You just kind of like, top 10. Well, I was 13 one year, and then I was 11. And I went back to the room, I was throwing a fit, and Cindy's like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so immature? And I'm like, we were 11. She said, it's $1 billion company. Look at the money you've made. You're making twice per month. I was making twice a year what I was making in teaching. I mean, it was amazing, but I was so mad, 11. And I remember when Ashley was 11. Are you in here, Ashley? I can't see out there. But I was laughing at Ashley because she's like, I'm going to be top 10, and she took care of business. But at 11, I'm like, I feel you. And I got 10 to 1 year. I'm coming off the stage. This little old lady gave me a cue ball that said 9. And she said, single digits are so much better. Cindy was like, really? I thought we were going to have a year to enjoy ourselves. But, so we were dreaming bigger. And then, they were doing long distance on a wall phone. You millennials, Google it. I'll explain what a wall phone is later. But at that time, we didn't have cell phones, mid-90s. And so that company went away. And, we were on a mountaintop, and we were like, but then, we said, well, if I do this again, I'm going to start the company. I want to have control of what we're paying people, what kind of products, what we're doing. And when I look back now, when I was coaching and teaching, we're winning our district, winning a title, I thought I was on the mountaintop. I told someone, we built our dream house like 3 times. We thought this was the greatest house in the world. And then we got into this thing and started growing, and we decided to move to Grand Rapids, and we're on a lake, and we sold that house. Then we bought this house, I was like, wow. I remember taking my grandma, she goes, this is the biggest house a Pentecost has ever owned. I'm like, yeah, Grandma, this is cool. And then we sold that and moved. And then, we built a cottage that we thought, man, this will be forever. And then we got this idea to come to Florida with the company, and we sold that before we got it all finished. And so I'm saying that to you to say, what looks big today may be different tomorrow. It's a stepping stone to where you're going. So I want the challenge to be thinking, what is your story? You got the pen in your hand right now, and you're going to write it. What would you write different right now? What would you write? You know, I think I was telling last night, when you're afraid of something, you have a little fear. What I see is when you're afraid, you isolate yourself. Isolation. And that's not good. I really feel the devil does that. He likes to get you isolated, then he can attack you. So I'm so excited you're all here because we're in a group of positive people that can reinforce and help you out, and making sure that if we think sometimes we're the only one going through something, but you're not. There's so many of us. And when we can help and support each other for that next level, I always try to think of a word, and right now, I told him last night, because I couldn't wait any longer, but my word was reload. So first of all, I want to model these. I really like these. They're pretty sharp. Let's see, gosh, you got this. Good. All right, never mind. You don't like them. I love it. But my word this year, or for this weekend, is reload. Because here's what I was thinking. The longer we're in business, 18 years, you know, we've seen everything. We've seen everything come, go, and different seasons of time, things happen. And it's the same in your business. You know, there'll be times you're exploding. There'll be times you're kind of like, oh my goodness, will I ever meet another person to sponsor? I was with some people today, this morning, I told them, I said, I would go through that period where I'm like, I'm not going to meet another person in the whole world that wants to do this. And then it was amazing. All of a sudden, you know, I'd be at the grocery store, or I'd be at the gym or something, I'd meet someone, and all of a sudden that person, just like selling your dream house, would be the next person that takes you to a whole other level. And every time it happened. Now, last year, I talked about reinvent yourself. And we did that with the company. We reinvented ourselves. Try it, more products, more sample size, things relevant that people want today. And, you know, we were always saying, how do we reinvent ourselves? Now, I'm saying, all right, in business, the word reload. There's no business that just goes like this. You know, I saw last week, I was telling them, Uber laid off 465 people at their corporate headquarters. I mean, that's a company that's just rocking. But they are having to reorganize. And I was watching a football thing, and I know we got a lot of international. I'm talking about the pigs, you know, the U.S. pigskin football, not the round other thing they call football. So the women back in. So I'm from Michigan. I'm a Detroit, and there's usually only about 47 of us because we haven't won in 50 years of playoff games. And every year I say to Cindy, "It's our year, baby. I know this is it." And she's like, I'll see you in a couple weeks when you're mad because you spent a whole afternoon again watching football. But we can win. But I look across to New England Patriots. All right, Charlie, you can cheer. Where are you? You can cheer. Hey, last night he said he was afraid to cheer because I picked on him. But so New England, they've won I don't know how many championships in the last 10 years, but they lose like their best player to free agency, or they lose someone, they cut them, and then the next day they pick up a couple people off the street, and they reload and win. They don't rebuild, they reload. And I want to tell you whether you're a diamond or whether you're an ambassador, your business is constantly reloading. And whatever business you do, it's reloading. We said last night, and I already had some people text me today, I looked at who got me to diamond, and they weren't the same people to get me an ambassador. It just happens that way. Sometimes, but not usual, because you have to reload. Now, I thought Cindy had a great one this morning. I didn't act like it when she said it, because I thought I'd just say it and act like I did, but I'm feeling guilty about it. So Cindy, actually this morning, she's like, you know, some people choose not to reload. You know, you get in, you got a great dream, you're excited, and instead of reloading, you just kind of let it slip away, and then the next thing, you're back working a job thing, and you're back in that grind thing. You know, I think the thing we forget sometimes is how much fun Now this is work, don't get me wrong, it's work. But it's a fun work. You control your own time. You control the ceiling of how much money you're gonna make by how much work and what you wanna do, how much you wanna reload. So sometimes it may be frustrating, but I'm always trying to find a way to reinvent myself so I can reload and go to a whole nother level. And so I want you to hear that today, that if whether you're on a mountain or a valley, both won't last forever. And what wins is being consistent here. You know, I'd love to tell you it's not true, but consistency and discipline is really what does it. You know, if doing this keto diet, and there's some carbs that look awful good to me, and I can decide, you know, and Denise heard me say, next week I'm really going to be on this keto diet good. But today I'm going to, but discipline and staying with that is what makes the difference. And so tomorrow, when we come in with all of your teams, this place will be packed. It's going to be your teams in here. And our job tomorrow is to show them that you want to keep it simple, but we have something so special here. Our culture, our team, each other. You just look at that person next to you and say, he's talking about you. He likes you on our team. He's talking about you and you and you. You're not doing this stuff. You know, when you talk about consistency and discipline, there's Steph and Joe on the front row, first two seats. I rarely don't see a picture that Steph's not putting in somebody. And they're just consistent and disciplined. And over time, you know, they can do anything they want. And they keep doing the things to encourage you by staying disciplined and consistent in what they're doing. You know, I said last night at our kickoff at the office, we were talking about Mala. And, you know, we got this thing out there where you got to get a ruby and you got to be in the top 20 or mover or shaker what you did. She had like 16 rubies from June 1st to now. And it's like, woo! But she wanted them, she went after it. And when she told me I want to be number one, and I said, that's awesome. Because I remember when Steph, I was in Grand Rapids, and it was probably halfway back to the room, and she sat on the side, I remember, and she said, you don't know me, but I won't be back here again, I'll be up there. And she's up there, consistent, year after year after year, because she put it out and went for it. So, what are you going to put out there today? You know, that's nice to hear that with the other people, here in Mala there, here in the Duns, but what are you going to put out there? You know, it takes risk. You got to risk it to go out there and be successful. And you can just be average, or the world calls it normal, or you can say, you know what, I have an opportunity here, and I'm going to grab hold. You might be reloading, you might be just getting going. It doesn't matter where you're at in the business, somebody in this room's been there before. And you got to decide what you're going to do with that. You know, I had just a couple of things I want to end with, because you got to be focused. You've got to know where you're going. We get in the jet, we take a trip, we file a plan where we're going. We don't get up in the air. I say to Donnie, the pilot, hey Donnie, where are we going today? You know, he says where we're going. I go Grand Rapids, and he says, okay, I got the plan. You've got to have the plan where you're going today. You can't leave here going, I'm excited. I don't know what I'm excited about, but I am excited. You got to know what is it you want. Don't be afraid. Put it out there. We've got people, you know, gosh, there's 100,000 people getting checked, so there's people talking top 10, top 20, top 50, going full time, helping their family with things they need. I mean, there are so many things you can put out there, pay off your debt. I tell you, it's not easy, but it's the greatest thing to have no debt. And the world says you can't do it, but I tell you, you can do it. There's a lot of people on our team that have done it and continue to do it. You know, there's a quote, I'm looking for it real quick here. It was one of my favorites, Jim Rohn, and I can't find it, so hopefully I get it close. Don't fact check me, but it's really close. He said, what's easy to do is also easy not to do. So you decide, you know, if you want to lose a little weight, you're going to stay on it or not to. You decide if you're going to pay off Dad a little more each month until it's done, or don't do it. You can decide if it's worth it to you, your family, to make that next promotion or not to. It's up to you. Now, here's some things that have really helped us. And I always try to think different and uniquely. If the whole world's going this way, you know, when someone says to me, well, everyone's doing this, I like to go this way. And it's worked really well for myself, for Cindy and I both, our families. I think this year there was some talks going on, but I was like, oh, it's a gold rush, you gotta. Now, hardly heard anything about it. And that happens all the time. So I'm saying to you, when you leave here, it's okay, lock arms, support each other. And if you go somewhere where you're not getting support, sometimes you can be your own family, you know, that'll never work. Well, maybe that's a good company, but you've never stayed long enough to have. Don't listen to that stuff. I want you to think differently, uniquely. I love it. I was telling our president, Doug Nooney, I was telling him this once, and Doug said, so what you're saying, if you don't think good, don't think long. And I went, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. If your mind's not in the right place, don't stay there long. And so I want you to think about that. Embrace renewing of your thoughts. You come here to learn something. You know, I'm reading, watching YouTubes, listening to others all the time to pick up that one nugget that could be the change in your business. And I think you got to embrace that. You have the capacity for greatness. Embrace it. Look to that person on the other side. Say, you can be great. You truly can. How many of my top leaders sometimes just feel unworthy of this? You're like, how did I get here? How did this happen? But it happened because you had grit and heart and you went after it. And I'm telling you, there's more. You know, I love Tyler when we're talking because he'll say, Dad, I think we're made for bigger tents. Or sometimes Cindy will say, our tent's pretty big, you know, because she likes when we just hang out together. And but I go, wow, you're right. You know, the golf course was a crazy idea when we moved here. The